Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got some more mock drafts for you guys for your redraft season that is coming up. Most of you are probably going to start drafting within the next month or so, so we wanted to make sure you got some ideas of where players are starting to fall. We'll give you some insight of players that we're going after in these particular spots. For example, like right now we are drafting the 103. This is always 12-man, full PPR, or even half PPR. If it's super flex or tight end premium, you're going to draft differently. And of course, ask away in the comments down below if you have questions. Maybe you already know where you're going to be. Like my big redraft I'm in every single year, I am in the third spot, which happens to be this. So this is a nice little fun mock draft for me to kind of see where these players are falling, and it helps get me prepared for the upcoming season. So we're going to jump right into this, okay? So as you can see, we're in the 103 spot right now. Typically what you're going to find when I start this draft is you're going to probably see Justin Jefferson number one. He's been that way probably for about a month now. It's changed, but now it's really falling into his lap as far as the 101. And obviously if you're in the zero running back strategy, which again, if you want to check out in our other video, we talk a little bit about that and who you should be going after in the running back dead zone. Check that out. But we're going to start this draft. This is the 103. This is where I am in my big redraft, so this is going to be fun for me. Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, totally makes sense. I've seen Jamar Chase in this spot. I've seen Eckler. I am going to be the oddball in this one, and I'm actually going to go after Nick Chubb. Yes, it's a bit of a reach, but hear me out. Nick Chubb now no longer has Kareem Hunt. I like what this Browns offense could possibly be, and Nick Chubb is an absolute stud. I know he's never been an RB1, but he's consistent, and I'm going to take that consistency with the potential of him being an RB1 instead of taking a wide receiver like Chase or Kupp or something like that. So now you see Mahomes is the first quarterback off the board. I have different in that. I've got my rankings coming out, will be out on Monday, so you guys will see that, but you'll see that pretty early. Now, I could go Josh Allen here or Jalen Hurts, get a really, really strong quarterback in fantasy, which if you could grab one of these guys, typically, as long as they stay healthy, can help you win in your league. But for me, I like to go either running back or tight end if you want to reach into that spot, or maybe wide receiver. For me, I'm going to actually go a different way than I normally do, and I'm going Josh Allen. Josh Allen in my rankings is QB1 in redraft, and I'll take him with Nick Chubb. Because on the swing around, could I go wide receiver? Absolutely. I'm actually not going to. I'm going to go to another stud here. I'm going to go Najee Harris. I know he's not the most consistent back as far as performance goes, but he is their bell cow. I know people are going to talk up Jaylen Warren, and I totally understand that. But he's shown he can catch the ball. This offense is going to only improve. He's going to get plenty of touches his way and red zone activity. I'm taking the surefire in Najee Harris with the Nick Chubb and Josh Allen. So I actually like where I'm at in this one. Now, I could go running wide receiver. Terry McLaurin's a good option, right? Drake London maybe. Jerry Jeudy I like a lot. Hopefully the Broncos do actually put this together. But I'm actually going to go and grab another running back. I get it. Running backs are, unless they're PPR, it's a little bit tough. But in a flex spot, I can get Joe Mixon, who is the starting running back for a really high-powered offense in the Bengals, right? I can do that. I can grab a George Kittle, who has been really good at the tight end position. I don't think he's as great. I like Hawkinson. I actually would have grabbed him had he fallen here. But for me, I'm going to fill out the running back spot. I'll grab Joe Mixon as my third running back. I have no complaints with that at all. And again, I'm filling every single bye week, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect. I have at least a RB1 in my stance in my lineup. So now you see George Kittle, Pitts. Pitts is definitely somebody I would absolutely consider. And I had thought about it in the mixing spot. It's something I was like, hey, this could be something. But I'm now going to go and start filling up my wide receivers. Drake London I like a lot. I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy. Yes, I'm jumping back on that train. I think Jerry Jeudy has the potential to be a really good wide receiver. I know he's not a top tier wide receiver, but he can scratch into that top 15 mark as long as this offense really does perform. And I think this is going to be a big change for Russell Wilson. So I'm going to put Jerry Jeudy in there. I think he's going to actually perform really well. Now I've got to fill out obviously more of my wide receiver or maybe tight end. You could go and grab Christian Kirk, who I like a lot. I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to go Deontay Johnson, I think Deontay Johnson is still the number one wide receiver. I know Pickens is going to be performing really well for the Steelers offense, but I like Deontay Johnson still a little bit more. I know he didn't get any touchdowns last season. Totally get that. That's not going to happen again. For him to have 0 touchdowns, not going to happen. He averaged about 7 touchdowns a season before last season, so I'll still take the risk on Deontay. And now we're filling out either the tight end spot, which if you look at the tight ends available, Freiermuth, great option. Evan Ingram, great option. Njoku, great option. But they're a little too rich for me at this particular point in my 7th round pick. So I'm not going to go tight end there. I am going to fill either a running back again, covering flex, bye weeks, whatever it might be, or of course wide receivers, which I think is the best option. So I'm going to go Mike Evans here. I talked about him in the last mock draft. If you guys saw that one, Mike Evans isn't as, I can't say surefire because this offense is going to be different with Baker Mayfield, but I absolutely love what Mike Evans has been able to do, whether he had Jameis Winston, Tom Brady, and obviously now Baker Mayfield. He's still a 1,000-yard receiving back. He's still a red zone threat, big-bodied receiver. I'm going to go with the consistent Mike Evans in hopes that Baker Mayfield can really bring that out of him. Now, you start to see this is where a Freiermuth or an Evan Ingram is going to be a great option in this avenue for tight end. I actually like Pat Freiermuth. He's one of my favorite tight ends in the league. I talked highly about Evan Ingram last year, and of course, he did a great job. Freiermuth is a little bit more consistent for me just because there's so many mouths to feed in the Jacksonville offense. So I'll take Freiermuth just with a little bit more upside there. So got my starting lineup. I feel good about it. Now I got to fill out the rest of my roster to really bring in depth, bye weeks, injuries, things like that could possibly happen this possible season. So could I go with another quarterback like Anthony Richardson, which a lot of people are obviously hyped up with his athletic ability? He is going to be someone that could really wow everybody. And it's really interesting they chose these numbers, just so you know. 666. I don't know if I would have chosen that as the potential rushing yards. I actually am not going to go Anthony Richardson, even though I love his talent. I'm going to go quarterback a little bit later to fill in for Josh Allen's bye week and maybe some matchups. But really, Josh Allen is a matchup-proof type of quarterback. I'm actually going to fill out and grab maybe another wide receiver or a running back. I'm actually going to go with Zay Flowers. I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver. I loved him coming into this season. And for me, Lamar's got a lot to prove, and I think he's going to do that this season. I really believe in him. He's my QB3 going into the rankings, so I really like what he can possibly bring. So I like Zay Flowers here, and I'll take that risk. Now you got, obviously, Cole Kmet. The tight ends are starting to show up again in this. Alan Lazard, who's a great option. He's got a great rapport with Aaron Rodgers, but he is now wide receiver 2, possibly wide receiver 3. And nobody talks enough about Corey Davis, and you need to give that guy some credit. But I'm actually going to go with the old man Adam Thielen, because Adam Thielen is going to be someone who's going to get some targets in this Carolina offense. So I'm going to take it. It's not like he's just a depth piece. I'm not worried about it too much. I don't feel like I'm losing out by grabbing him there. So now I'm going to actually look at possible more depth. I've got 3 running backs. I'm going to actually go to another running back option here. I'm looking at Tyler Algier. Great running back when he can be called upon. I still think he's going to have some value for the Atlanta Falcons. And of course, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if Bijan goes down, you at least know you're getting a 1,000-yard back in Algier. Love that option. Elijah Mitchell is the one I'm actually going to go after, because Elijah Mitchell was still utilized pretty heavily, even when Christian McCaffrey was playing. When they both were healthy, they were just, whatever you want to say, that offense is very creative. Kyle Shanahan does a great job of getting his playmakers the ball. And I'm going to take Elijah Mitchell, especially if, again, knock on wood, an injury does occur. I like him in this offense. So here, again, tight end, Laporta, great option. Dobbs, love him. Rashee Rice, we'll see how that goes in the Kansas City offense. We'll see. I actually like Deontay Foreman. I think he's going to be the starting RB1 for the Chicago Bears. That may change. Obviously, Khalil Herbert's obviously a good, nice little talent. I love Roshan Johnson from Texas, but I'm going to take Deontay Foreman as the go-ahead RB1 in that offense. So I'm looking at what I've got left. I've got about 5 players here and a kicker. Again, we're not going to take kicker at this point. Believe me, you guys have seen these videos. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go another wide receiver here. I'll go tight end a little bit later. Laporta is definitely a good option, and I've thought about it. If he can swing back around one more time, I'll grab him, but I'm going to actually go and grab a wide receiver here. I'm actually going to go Romeo Doubs. I like him for this offense for Green Bay. I know a lot of people, I'm sure, what's going to happen with Jordan Love. I still believe in Jordan Love. I think he's going to be a nice little talent. I think he's going to perform really well. I don't think he's going to be a complete dud. So, again, nothing wrong with grabbing Dobbs. I think he's got some nice little talent there. So, obviously, Laporta's gone, Everett's gone, Mayer's gone. I understand that. I expected that. If Laporta's here, I could easily go him there, and I still would be happy with my decision. So for me, I'm actually going to grab a backup quarterback in Derek Carr. I think he's going to be a nice little pickup there, and he doesn't match the bye week, which is perfect. So now when Josh Allen's on his bye in 11. I've got Derek Carr to fill in for 1 week. And Derek Carr is a good quarterback who's going to be a good filler for me. I am going to go and fill up another tight end. I actually am going to go Juwan Johnson to kind of match with Derek Carr. Juwan Johnson did a great job last season. You've got more weapons for the Saints, and I think Juwan's going to take advantage of some of that. Again, he's just filling in for those bye weeks, maybe a matchup situation, so I like Juwan Johnson there. Got 3 more picks, 2 regular fills, and then, of course, kicker. Looking at this coming up, you've got players like Kenny Pickett if you needed to get a quarterback if you didn't get Derek Carr. Great option there. He could have easily paired up really well with Najee and Deontay. A little too many Steelers at one point, especially as a Cowboys fan, but I don't want to have too many players from one team. That can sometimes hurt you, especially when it comes to bye weeks. Looking at players like Hunter Renfrow, we're not really sure how that's going to be. Alec Pierce had shown some flashes, especially as a rookie. Again, good option. Paris Campbell is going to be the guy I'm going to go after for this New York Giants offense. There are a lot of slot options. I've seen all the Twitter memes. It is kind of hilarious, but I like Paris Campbell. I think he's got a great talent there. Now I'm getting my last player to kind of fill in. I've got a good amount of wide receivers. I got a pretty good amount of running backs. I'm not going to go to the third tight end, and I'm not going to go to the third quarterback. So for me, look at these options. I'll take the risk and grab Alec Pierce. I don't think he's a bad pickup at all. He's shown some flashes. We'll see how he does, obviously, with now Anthony Richardson at quarterback. But I think he's a good pickup. He showed what he could possibly do. Now we're going to get our kicker here. Obviously, you saw a lot of good kickers going through. Yeah, kickers can get you some points. But for me, I'll take it. Last spot. I know I've always gone Cam McDicker. I actually am going to go Graham Gano. I think he's a really good kicker. He's done a really good job for the Giants. And again, Giants offense will get down the field. Will they score? That's a different story, especially if Barkley is in there. So I'll take a kicker there. So that is my 103 mock draft. Again, remember, this is a PPR, so you may have a different avenue if you're going into Superflex, or if it's standard league, obviously you're going to draft differently. Again, this is full PPR, even half PPR. You probably do some of these same moves. If you guys have questions about your particular spot in your draft and you want to know who you would go after, again, let us know in the comments. Follow these videos. This is not a science. This is just to kind of see where players are falling, so you do some more practices. Go on Sleeper, go on Yahoo, go on whoever you like to use. Do some mock drafts once you find out where your position is. Get some practice in, get some repetitive, do some studying. Follow us. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're dropping ranking videos. We're talking Dynasty if you're in the Dynasty world. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit that like button while you guys are here. We greatly appreciate you guys have been fantastic. This community is absolutely growing, and I'm super excited for this upcoming season. So again, subscribe, like, and I'll check you guys out next time.